Thanks to those joining me live and to those that'll be joining me, G-Funk. And look at this. We got 97 Rough back on YouTube, a.k.a. Dave from Leave It in the Ring. First of all, how's it going, bro? How's it going?
It's going good, bro. I was lucky enough that somebody took off the nail out of the coffin and let me out of my my box, and now I'm here. I'm sitting here on your show, D-Style.
That's right, man. Thank you very much for coming on. We have a lot of boxing talk. Look at these notes, by the way, everybody. Okay, these are the notes of all notes, by the way. The undisputed champion notes, right? G-Funk, how's it going, man? You're still going at it with Canelo fans? What's the story?
Well, that's never goes away, man, with these guys. But hey, I'm a man of my word, and a bet's a bet. So hey, there it is, guys. I got it on, man. All right,
Canelo power.
Look on the back, man. It's official, baby.
Well, there you go. I already paid my debt, even though I'm wearing it again, but that's another story. AJ10, the official fact checker, the show is on here. How's it going, AJ10? All right. As you guys come in, if you're listening on archive, make sure you throw a jab at that like button, throw a cross at the subscribe, and of course, that uppercut at that bell button. That way you're notified every time D-Style comes on live. In the description box right here of this video, you can pull it down, guys. You will see a link to the Leave It in the Ring channels. You guys can go ahead and subscribe to that. Remember to hit the notification button, and of course, a link to G-Funky's channel as well. Subscribe, and it's important to hit the notification. If you don't hit the notification, you might as well not subscribe, pretty much, because YouTube will not tell you when a video comes out. You know what I mean? It's the way it is. So make sure you do that. It gives you an option for all, by the way. Make sure you do that, all right? Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens on here. How's it going, bro? We have a good show for you guys. We're going to start off with this, okay? First of all, where you been, bro? Like, tell everybody what's going on with you. What has 97 Rough been in since he's disappeared from YouTube? What have you been up to?
I feel ashamed that I disappeared from YouTube, man. No, I'll tell you what happened here. I decided to go. Well, at that time, if you remember, bro, there was no like live feed, and everything was pre-recorded. I was doing a bunch of interviews, and I was posting them on YouTube at the time. But then this little thing called podcasting came along, and I thought that time that this was the best time for me. At that time, I felt it was like the best move was to move on to podcasting. And that's what I did. So I've been there ever since, doing podcasting, got a cult following on for Leave It in the Ring, a bunch of other guys that filtered through the network. And I've been there for the past 10 years. But, I always wanted to come back to YouTube. And now that they're doing the live stream, I said, shit, this is the perfect time for me to come back to YouTube and start chopping it up with the old boxing community. And I'm happy to see that a lot of the dudes that I came up with back in the days when we were OGing it up in boxing, that they're all here still doing their thing. And I want to thank you, man, for asking me to come on because, it's a pleasure, bro. We go way back, way back.
Way back, yeah. I mean, we're talking about a decade, bro. That's what's insane. Man. Well, which is crazy. I could relate. I left YouTube myself for about a good 3-4 years to do podcasting as well. You know what I mean? And at the time, to be honest with you, look, there was a time where YouTube didn't have this live format. We just uploaded videos. So podcasting at the time was the only way really to go live and uncut and, take callers and stuff like that. This wasn't possible when we started all that. You know what I mean?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, Leave It in the Ring actually started from what I remember. It was a group of YouTube channels that got together, right? Yourself, Blood Boxing, 916 Chris, RIP, by the way.
Yeah.
And a couple more guys, they got together and started that. From there, Rope a Dope Radio with Joe Habib, myself, Chris Carlson, Ashley Knuckles, et cetera, et cetera. So a lot of people did it. I ended up coming back when I noticed you can go live and stuff like that. Right. And here we are, you know what I mean? And then I kind of started talking politics for a long time. And Just a couple months ago, I decided, let's get back to this boxing thing. You know,
Right.
that Andy Ruiz win over Joshua inspired me a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Yeah, it really did. And I started getting back into this boxing groove, and here we are. And then I found G-Funk somewhere, man. I dusted him off, and, you know, he was gone for a couple years, and a lot of dudes have been gone for a couple years. So some are just plain gone. A lot of them stopped liking boxing, but it is what it is. Okay,
you know, it was hard to stay with boxing for a period, because I did a hiatus even with the podcasting, and luckily for me at that time, Steve Kim and Gabriel Montoya kept it rolling. They were doing the next round on the podcast, but I had a really bad taste with boxing, man. You know, a lot of the bullshit that was happening, I just needed to step back. Like, I needed to refresh myself. And the same thing when Andy Ruiz did that big upset. You know, it was great for all of us. That's something for us to talk about. And we went live on that show, and it was just phenomenal, bro. How many Mexican Americans and Mexicanos were calling in. It was like really emotional. You know what I mean? It was super emotional, because I never thought in my lifetime that I was going to see a Mexican American or Mexicano win the heavyweight title.
Yeah, that was definitely a big deal. Like, even though it's what made it more impactful was that I didn't see the win coming, and then it happened. And then it did hit a lot of Mexicanos for sure, man. That was something. So, and shout out to Joe Lopez 40 ounce. What's going on? What happened to the Mexican flag on the side? Remember you had that Mexican flag on the side when you would do the videos?
Oh, it's right here. It's right here on my table. It's right on the table. Yeah, it's the
same one.
Same one, man. Same one.
Same one.
Yep. Everything I pretty much had in that office is here now, up on the walls, and right back here in my the boxing lab, my boxing studio.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree, Chicano Prophet, rest in peace to 916 Chris.
Yeah.
Now let's start off with this, man. I want to start with you, Dave, because you did some interviews with Caleb Plant and David Benavidez. First, I believe it was David Benavidez first.
Yes.
And Caleb Plant. Tell us how that went, man, because it seems to me like these guys really do not like each other, and I genuinely believe them.
Well, I'll tell you why I reached out to Benavidez's camp was because we did a segment back when Caleb Plant had won his last title, his mandatory defense, right? And then Canelo was going through the circuit of 168 to 116, and I thought it was really peculiar that David Benavidez's name was never brought up, and I also thought that it was weird that David Benavidez really didn't have a fight set up yet. It always seems like there was always like a roadblock for him. So I wanted to bring him on, and what I really wanted to know was, more about why Canelo hasn't brought it. If Canelo even reached out to them yet to see if whether or not they could make that fight, because I think that's the biggest fight at 168 if it was to be made between David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez. Now, Milcar, who co-hosts the show with me, is the one that asked the question to David Benavidez of him asking how he would rank the rest of the 106 pounders in the division. And that was David that decided to go forward and say that Caleb Plant was the weakest link at the 168, and that he would knock him out if they were to step in the ring.
Man, that is interesting. And by the way, you guys can go to the Leave It in the Ring channel, check out those interviews for more in-depth detail about that. But G-Funk, what are your thoughts on that, man? I mean, those are some fighting words, bro. Like, he's the weakest link of the division.
Yeah, those are definitely fighting words.
And by the way, those are some of the nicest things he said about Plant.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see that there's definitely a little bit of a hatred between these two guys.
Right.
But hey, I think that's gonna make for a great fight if these guys can ever get that thing done. It's to me, I don't know, man. The more I look at it, the more I get. I don't know, man. It's a tough fight to pick, because both guys, I like both guys, and but yeah, man, like the more and more I look at it, the more I'm just like, dang, man, like I really don't know who would win that fight. I think it could go a lot of different ways, but I like that they're going back and forth like this. I like that there is a little bit of animosity there. because you know it always makes for a great build up, and for us hardcores, man, we love a great build up for a fight. It gets you just a little extra more pumped for the fight. And then when the night, man, when it comes on, you got those butterflies, you got that adrenaline rolling, right before that bell rings. And hey, that's what it's all about for us fight fans, So, I hope that this thing can get made. I really do. Honestly, I don't know who right now. I don't know who I would pick, but I like the idea of it happening soon. And man, hopefully they get it done, man.
Well, it's not going to happen this year. I mean, I think that when so Caleb Plant's people heard the show. And immediately his PR, I believe it was the day after, or it was like Wednesday, because we air on Monday. So he called me right away and he's like, look, I need to get my guy on there to respond to David Benavidez. They were upset about what David had said. So I was like, sure, okay, no problem. And immediately, Caleb, his response was, clever. He said, hey, I never lost my title to Coke. And, I'd never been dropped by this guy. So, he's a confident kid. I like how his approach and how he comes across, but, when I think about the fight, this is what I look at. Okay. When I measure the fighters, the height of them, they're not that far apart. David Benavidez is about 1.5 inches taller than Caleb Plant, right? He's got a 77-inch reach, David Benavidez. But it's the resume right now. And I think that's the question that everybody has about Caleb Plant, is that resume, because the only recognizable name is Mike Lee. And Mike Lee, I mean, the Notre Dame kid, I don't think anybody really knew that he was a fighter. We all thought that he was more of a commercial for Subway, right? So that wasn't the major. I was not impressed by that win, because the fact that we knew that Mike Lee was more of a advertisement train, that they were trying to push, at that time. So, but then you go and look at David Benavidez's record. He's got J Love on his record. He's got Darrell. He's got more recognizable names, and you could sit there and say, okay, he's already opted and fought the better fighters. Even the kid that he's fighting in a couple of months, right? Alexis Angulo, that kid's even tough too. I mean, that kid only has I'm trying to remember. What is it? He's like 26 wins, 22 knockouts, right? And he's only lost to Gerberto Ramirez. That's not a bad name to lose to. So this is a really tough fight for David Benavidez. If he sleeps on this kid could come and take it. And if you listen to the last show, on my Monday show, I said this: if I'm a betting guy now, okay, I would start betting on the underdogs on PBC. Why? Because they've seen to make it more obvious that the guys that they pick on the blue corner, on the B side, really come to fight. And we've had more upsets and exciting fights on PBC so far.
That's very well said, and I do agree with that. Now, I will say that in terms of Caleb Plant, his best win is probably Jose Uzcategui. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But yeah, he fought the Subway guy too. You're right. I bet you a lot of people tuned in and why are they doing this to the Subway guy, right? Like,
right.
So but he did look impressive though. Okay, in terms of, he looks like the goods.
Well, you're supposed to look to look impressive towards guys you're supposed to beat. You know what I mean? That's where I kind of regulate. How impressive are you when you're supposed to beat a guy in that type of fashion? Of course, that's supposed to look really, really good, But does it tell us everything about Caleb Plant? No. I think it's still, the verdict is still out there for the kid. The same thing with David Benavidez. He's never fought that style, a Plant style, that confidence, and also a kid that's in their prime. So it's a really interesting fight, But if you had to force me to wear a Canelo power shirt, I would have to lean towards David Benavidez at this moment.
By the way,
sorry, G.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Make sure you guys throw a jab at the like button. Okay, stay right here. We have more to go over for you guys. Look, me right now, even though I'm high on Caleb Plant, I have said that I would favor Benavidez right now. I know a lot of people I think they read too much about the Durrell fight, right? They said, oh, he was having a lot of trouble with Durrell. But I mean, this is a better opponent than Caleb Plant has fought so far, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, Anthony Durrell is not his brother, Andre Durrell. Andre Durrell always had the better tools, right? He was the guy, the Matrix at the time. That was his nickname. He was the kid that everybody looked at like he was going to be the next big thing in 168. Never lived up to it, unfortunately. So his brother though brought the goods, and we knew that was a good test for David Benavidez to move up. The thing is that David Benavidez just didn't show up. Here's a kid that didn't really have a in-depth background in the amateur rankings like his brother Jose. This kid at an early age, man, was thrown into the ring with world champions, Kelly Pavlik, Gennady Golovkin. So this guy's had the chance to see world class up in front of him, up and close and personal. So that's why, to me, it makes it a very interesting fight. Right now at their peak, it's I think you could sway either way at the moment. If you're a Caleb Plant, sweet hands, and you like that style, hand speed, and I think it's safe to say that Caleb doesn't have that much power, and he understands that, and he uses the best of his abilities to get the win. My curiosity is, how does he handle a big, confident and pressure fighter like David Benavidez, who puts punches together? He just doesn't look for pot shots. This guy creates, moments for him. And that's what you want to see in a big fighter like David Benavidez, especially he's dangerous. He's a Mexicano. So he's got that mentality already. He's come forward, take a hit, but to land a bunch of shots at you.
Yeah, definitely, man. G-Funk, one thing that Benavidez has said, an interview I did see a couple months back, was that he will put Plant in a hospital. Right? I mean, he does not like this guy. But do you believe him, G-Funk? You think he wants to hurt him?
I do. Yeah, I do. Especially after listening to that interview on Leave It in the Ring, where he said, "I never lost my belt to cocaine or anything like that." That's taking it personal right there,
man. Brutal, bro. That was brutal. I almost did this when he said that. I was like, damn, holy shit, hey, I was like damn.
Scarface.
Hey, bro, he almost brought out the hood out of me. I was like, this about to wild fuck,
Yeah. Caleb Plant's got some, fighting words, bro. He's a confident kid. He should be confident. I believe he's the goods, but I do agree. I like the Ustakidi, however the hell you pronounce that dude's name. Okay, I like that win, and I do agree, Reggie Owens. It's a really good win. I don't know if it's bigger than the Durrell win. You know what I mean? We got to kind of measure it a little bit, but I hear you nonetheless. Raw Boxing TV on here. What's going on? Tone Brown says Caleb Plant got the skills. He's very crafty. He is. Yeah, and I think that's what makes this fight so interesting to me, because you look at a big, strong guy, throws a lot of punches like Benavidez, and then you see a guy who's, likes to be responsible on the defense and make you miss and make you pay like a Plant. It makes for a very good matchup, but it makes it hard on guys like me to make a pick, So, but I do think that it's getting hot and it's getting personal. And I think that's going to make for one hell of a fight, man. And they got to get this thing done, man. Hopefully sooner than later. But if we listen to Dave say, it's probably not going to happen this year. But hey, I'll wait for it, man. If it continues to get hot like this, I'll be patient. Yeah, man. This fight has to happen. I mean, it's got to happen. I hear you. Dave, it's not going to happen this year, obviously, but hopefully by next year. But I like these fights where two guys don't like each other. They genuinely do not like each other because, I'm a bloodthirsty boxing fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. We're thirsting ghouls. The thing I think that I know what's going to happen, because one thing is to be said about PBCs, you can't deny them, is that they do put their fighters up against each other. They like to keep it in house, like every other promoter. They like to keep everything in house until they're outsourced. Then they'll start looking outside. And right now, it makes no sense for like Caleb or for Benavidez to go outsource to face anybody when they can brew something up nice and fat and juicy and then have it for us early 2021.
Yeah, definitely. And a shout out to Nopal Boxianos in the chat. What's called Nopal? That dude literally has a nopal in the forehead. I could guarantee. Right? Man, this is something, man. Speaking of Leave It in the Ring interviews, man, I'm glad you're here, man, because these are very intriguing interviews. And by the way, you guys see that poll in the chat. Let me know who you think would win. I mean, 1 for Plant, 2 for Benavidez. Reggie Owen says 1. He's got Plant. A-Rod 2 says Benavidez. Let me know what you guys think. I'm putting my 2, okay, for Benavidez. All right. I want to talk about Manny Robles, man. You know, like I'll never forget that image because we just spoke about it a little bit ago when Andy Ruiz won the championship, you know, and, you know, when they're all hugging in the middle of the ring and it's just this big moment. And then like just a couple months later, I don't know what happened. You know what I mean? Obviously, I believe it has a lot to do with Andy. But what have you gathered from your interview with Manny Robles in regards to Andy Ruiz?
I mean, I think we all knew what happened with Andy Ruiz, bro. Menudo and Snickers got to him, you know, and good for him. You know, came from nothing and got everything. You know, had the whole world in his hands. You know, and I think it's quick to judge him based on the failure that he did by not training and admitting that he didn't train. But the truth is that none of us are here can say that we got the world literally put in our hands, you know, so we don't know how to none of us really know how we're going to react, you know. I think the disappointing thing is that he could have like done something with it, but then he opted. You know, a lot of these young kids, man, they fall into the flashiness, you know, buying these big old chains and, you know, all iced out and you know, that's just the way it is when you come from nothing, you know. And I knew I was covering Andy way back. I mean, I had Andy when nobody knew about him on my show back in, I want to say 2012 or something. And just because I used to see Andy come in and out of the wild card. And I remember Abel Sanchez, you know, was working with them at one time too. And then Abel dropped him because of the same reasons that we're finding out now. And the same thing with Top Rank. The reason they dropped him because of the laziness that he brought, the undisciplined. But, you know, I think what I liked about hearing with Coach Manny Robles is that, hey, I'm busy. And I think it was genuine when he said that. Like, I'm busy. And I also kind of knew talking to him before coming on Leaving the Ring was that he was really done talking about Andy Ruiz, you know. I mean, he's got Charles Martin, who's looking better. I thought Charles Martin looked more confident. I had said that in order to beat Gerald Washington, he was going to have to come forward. He couldn't allow Gerald Washington to dictate that fight with his jab. He was going to have to close that distance. And we saw that on that night. They closed that distance immediately. You know, Manny Robles, like I had mentioned when I had him on, he was the head coach for the World Series, the World Boxing Series, you know, the LA Matadors. So this guy's been around. Manny's been around. He's got a good name around in the Southern California. Everybody knows who he is. He's a great guy and a hell of a trainer. So I expect big things for Manny still. You know, I think there's still a lot of fighters that wanna reach out and work with them. So that's the sense that I got from him.
Well, what are your thoughts on that, G-Funk?
Man, I agree with just about everything he just said.
Oh, you can't agree. You can't agree, bro. Come on, Marco.
But you know, I did hear that kind of in his voice. Like, I know you guys kind of waited to ask him the Andy Ruiz questions because, you know, that's on everybody's mind. And he was kind of like, you know, hey, you know, I kind of seen it coming, and the guy wasn't showing up to the gym, but you could kind of hear it in his voice during the interview. He's just like, you know, I'm kind of done talking about this kid. You know, I'm ready to move on. You know, and Ruiz, man, that was just a major disappointment, man. Major disappointment because, you know, myself as well as D-Star, we both kind of said, you know, if he continues to win, man, he could take over the sport. You know, a heavyweight champion that's Mexican, man, that's huge. You know, but hey, he couldn't find the discipline to stick with Robles, and it's disappointing too, because I liked Robles, man. I liked the instructions that he would give him in the corner. Like, I really liked him, man. I think he's a really good coach, and whoever he picks, man, it better be somebody that's gonna crack the whip on this dude. Not saying that Robles didn't, but
Right.
it's gonna have to be somebody that's gonna have to tell him, like, hey man, get your ass in this gym, no more messing around. Get in here, put the Snickers bar down, and get in here, man. But it is disappointing to see the breakup.
Unfortunately, man, I mean, there's an interview that Manny did
Absolutely.
on Fight Hub too, and he had said, listen, because they were like, why didn't you not talk to him? Like, did you like, try to lecture him? And he was just like, look, I mean, if he's not going to listen to his dad, why would he listen to me? So, and I felt that, because being a guy that's covered the sport for so long, going to gyms and having my kids, they all fought, going to, you would go to gyms, you would see the most talented kid in that gym, but he lacked the passion for the sport, because it came so easy. And Andy, if you watched Andy back in the days, this kid, he's gifted, man. He's a big kid, but he's fast. He's got he can put combinations together. He's got decent power. He's got good footwork when he's at the right weight, but he struggles with getting himself to that gym, and it sucks.
Yeah, man. He defeats himself, and it's unfortunate, especially with all the potential he has. He's got skills.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? His hand speed for a heavyweight is amazing. You know what I mean? So he could put punches together. I remember Holyfield talking about when he sparred with him, I couldn't get away from this kid.
right.
You know what I mean? It's Andy Ruiz had, in terms of skill and honing his craft and all that, he had it all. Really quick, am I freezing up or anything like that? I'm good.
You look good.
Clear to me. Yeah.
You look bonita from over here, bro.
Yeah, because everything was freezing up. I mean, I don't know what was going on. You know what I mean? Raw TV says, can you imagine how much money Ruiz could have made as a Mexican heavyweight? He could still make a lot of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's still going to get another payday. But he could have made even more. No doubt about that. If he would have won that rematch with Joshua, could he just imagine?
Oh my God! Yeah,
this guy would have been making.
Hey, he even had this guy there supporting him. That's big.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and could he just imagine? He could have sold out Azteca, bro. Like, you know what I mean? He could have, Andy Ruiz would have been a major star. You know what I mean? A lot.
We talked about it in the past, how if he was to win that fight and keep winning, how, like you said, Aztec Stadium, hey, him and Canelo, oh my God, on the same card? Wow.
Yeah.
That Canelo will be on the undercard too. All right. You hear that? Profit?
Co-feature, baby. Co-feature.
He'd be the co-feature.
Well, here's a food for thought here.
Yeah.
For folks saying that, you imagine how much money he could still, like you said, D-Style, he could still make a lot of money, because the fact is that maybe the fans have written him off. Like, certain fans have written him off. I haven't written him off. And I'll tell you why I haven't written him off. There's two things. When he lost to Joseph Parker, he went back. He went hiatus for a whole year. Okay. So he had to get his bearings back. He's not doing that right now, but the second reason I'm not writing him off is because he has Al Heyman, and Al Heyman is not known to write you off right away. Al Heyman's really known for giving you chance after chance after chance to hopefully get you and, get that significant moment. I mean, if Al Heyman and PBC were those types of folks, you wouldn't see Kristen Nyman or Oriella back in the ring. You wouldn't see Robert the Ghost Guerrero back in the ring. You wouldn't see a lot of these certain fighters back in that ring. Alfredo Angulo, back in the ring, and that's because PBC understand that they have a name already established. It's easy to sell these tickets when you have a name, and he's still trying to give them that one pinnacle moment. So I won't write off Andrew Ruiz just yet. He's still in his prime. He just really, when it comes down to it, Buddy McGirt said it best on Johnny Zig's show. Fuck it, let's talk fights. he doesn't need a trainer. He needs a teacher.
Yeah, absolutely, man. G-Funk, you have any final thoughts before I ask the next question about Manny Robles?
No, man. I just, we kind of, we covered this a lot, man, and it's just, it's just unfortunate, man, that this guy let his belly take over, his career at this point. But
Right.
you made a great point, Dave, about how Al Heyman, he doesn't give up on guys, so he's still got a chance. He just got to get his shit together,
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. And look at this. People talking about the coronavirus is even infecting this show, guys.
Oh,
right?
it's not affecting me, Vato. I'll tell you that right now.
Man. There you go.
All you need is a little water, pura limon, and
I got my protector, bro. I got my protector.
Yeah, but let's not let this virus infect this show. Like, you know what I mean? It's already infecting the rest of the freaking world,
Right.
But it is what it is. You know what I mean? I understand the NBA and Eddie Hearn and everybody's canceling fights, and we'll have to talk about if fights get canceled and stuff like that, of course. But as of right now, I mean, it is what it is, guys. But thank you for the updates nonetheless. Shout out to Cal Enigma on here, and Raw Boxing TV says I think Mexicans are more pro Ruiz than pro Canelo. I mean, it just depends. So don't tell that to Nopal, okay? But that's all.
You're gonna stir up a hornet's nest with that one, bro.
He's a real douche bag. That's what Nopal just put right now. Turns out he's a real douche.
He's a real douche. Absolutely. But I wanted to ask you, man. Manny, it's more than just about Manny Robles, okay? But it's about, to me, just in terms of the bigger picture. He brought up something that kind of came as a surprise to me, in all honesty. I always thought that, when a fight got signed or whatever, and, the trainer already had a cut, you know what I mean? He already got his, whatever that percentage was or whatever, and maybe there's some anecdotal examples of some trainers that have done that. Who knows? But I had no idea that fighters could literally just not pay fighters, bro. So that was a very intriguing.
You mean trainers, not pay their trainers.
Yeah. Trainers. You're right. Trainers. That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
But what was it? I mean, obviously that came as a surprise to me. But he mentioned about maybe starting a union of some sort. But what were your overall thoughts about that?
Well, I mean, this is something that I've discussed for a couple years now. And how Andy. How he did Manny Robles, which a lot of the boxing community was upset about it, because that was a historical moment, and to immediately cut him loose because of your faults, and your failure, the coach is always the first one to go. I mean, look what happened to Mark Breland. Deontay Wilder was yelling at him. There was rumors that he locked him out of the dressing room, et cetera, et cetera. So the trainers are always blamed for the lack of performances from their fighters. Okay. So I knew that a lot of people don't understand is that the trainer is very vulnerable when it comes to the fight business part of the sport. And Manny Robles is not the only one that I have spoken to about that, about having a union for trainers, because it's so easy. Unfortunately, I can't, because they told me this in good confidence when I've been told by different trainers, and these are not like unknown trainers; these are known trainers that have told me, like, hey, I mean, my guy won, and we won a title, and didn't even pay me until like 6 to a year, and then other trainers have said I haven't even seen my money yet. So it's not like that's a new thing, among the boxing or media community. That's a known thing. There's a lot of stuff that a lot of people don't want to talk about. They don't want to bring it up because one is that, it's just one of those things that unfortunately there's so many fucking hands in the cookie jar that nobody wants to interrupt that, And I think that we need to start a boxing union or, a commission for trainers. to start regulating all this and protect our trainers, because, you know, trainers have become a lost art, you know, with teachers. It's become a lost art in our sport. You know, you can go to any gym now and there's a guy with a stopwatch around his neck or a whistle. And he picked up a book and he read a little bit about, you know, boxing. Shit, I'll tell you a story. This is my son was heavily competing at the time, and we needed we had just moved here to the Valley because I'm from San Jose, from the Bay, and we moved over here to the Valley, and we needed a gym to work out of. So we went here, actually in Riverbank, where I live at now. We walked into this gym, and I'm speaking to the owner. It was an MMA gym, first off, so I should have known fucking better, right? And I started talking to guys, say, hey, you got a boxing program? I trained my son. And they said, well, we can't let you train your son, but we have a trainer. So I was like, okay, well, let me see what this guy, you know, what this guy's all about. And he had literally 15 kids hitting the bag. And I'm really big on footwork. So my kids, their footwork is just, you know, on point. Okay. This guy interrupts my kid and starts telling my kid to change his footwork. Okay. To basically be like stuck in the mud. I was like, so I didn't right away tell him like, hey, what are you doing? What I did was try to find out, okay, what does he know? How long has he competed himself? You know, how long has he been around this sport? And I'll shit you not, this vato started telling me that he picked up a book from, I want to say it was like Emmanuel Stewart. I don't know if it was Freddie Roach. Remember when Freddie Roach was doing that infomercial shit and he was selling books? If you want to learn how to jab like the pros.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what that guy literally did. So he was using this book, and then he called himself a trainer. And I was just blown.
Where Roach is telling people to practice the hook on the speed bag.
Yeah, which is fine, you know. But I'm just like, well, shit, you know. I mean, you know, anybody knows that you just can't pick up that. You can't just pick up a tool from watching YouTube and then think you're gonna get it right the first time. You know, you got to get some experience. So as soon as he told me that, I was like, oh shit, come on, mijo, pack your shit, we're leaving and stuff, you know, right? You know, and now you see that more often. You see that more and more here. I mean, especially here in the Valley. I mean, I walk into a gym, I see these guys. I mean, I saw this one trainer, dude. He's probably gonna hear this shit. He's gonna be like, hit me up, eh? Good thing that he's too fat, he can't catch me. But this fucking guy's like 400 pounds, and he's a boxing trainer, and he's giving these kids directions, sitting on a chair. And when he finishes a sentence, he's breathing heavily. He's like, okay, keep jabbing. How are you supposed to teach kids anything? You know, if you can't visually show them, how are you supposed to teach them anything? So that's a big problem in our sport, is that we don't have like MMA or like Jiu-Jitsu, whatever. I don't know if I got that right, but you know, like they have a family tree, so you could literally find out what senseis from what school and who taught what.
Right.
You know what I mean? Boxing, we should have the same thing. We should have a tree that you can go back in and say like, oh, you know, I learned from this guy. You know, I'm a prodigy of this dude. And we don't have that. We got a lot of these jokers that pretend that they're trainers or teachers, and they're Thai bohos, you know? That's all they are. They belong in yoga class, not in a boxing ring.
Like Dana White, you know? But anyway, because he said he used to train guys. Okay, you did aerobic classes, bro. Okay. But there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. The boxing clubs, you know, where they just a bunch of single moms and soccer moms go to, you know, and a 1 and a 1 and a 2. You know what I mean? That's interesting, and that is a problem with jiu-jitsu. And I've heard guys like Joe Rogan talk about it. You know what I mean? Like guys will show up with a black belt,
right?
You know, and but they'll tell right away if that dude is a black belt. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And you could tell right away when the dude knows his boxing, bro. Like it's just not. Yeah,
we should have a stolen valor in boxing. You know what I mean? You know, like, oh, this guy, you know, stolen valor here. This guy's having a medal, and he never even really gained the medal, got the medal. You know, so yeah, it's crazy.
It is stolen valor in a way.
It is, bro.
I mean, like these are warriors in the ring putting their lives on the line. Then you got some dude just showing up, all right, trying to teach other kids how to box, bro. It's gonna get those kids hurt or something, okay? Especially they're not doing it right. So, yeah, you can't just look at a Freddie Roach tape and start teaching kids how to box, bro. You know what I mean? Chief, you've been around boxing gyms. Have you seen something like that?
Yeah, I actually have. When I was going in and out of gyms in my teenage years, we trained at a place called Capital Boxing here in Sacramento. And one of the trainers, this guy was so fat he could barely get out of the chair. You know, he's instructing guys from his chair in the ring, like, hey, do it like this and do it like that. You know, he looked like a damn T-Rex with his big giant belly and his little short arms and shit. You know, like it was crazy, man. And
Yeah.
but yeah, man, you guys, you can't just read a book and become a trainer, man. That's ridiculous, man. And you're right, D-Style. That kind of philosophy going forward is going to get a lot of kids hurt, you know, because they're not teaching them the right way to defend themselves and things like that, man. It's unfortunate, man, but hopefully something can happen as we could change that. But you know, that's something that we would often joke about back in the day about how, like, how's this guy going to train guys? Look at him. This dude can barely get out of his chair, you know, like.
Yeah, man.
It happens often.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, that guy that was at this gym, I mean, he looks like a baby seal sitting there clapping, you know. And it's just like, what is this guy doing? You know, I don't know. I'm used to guys that have credentials. You know, when I was training and I was boxing at a young, you know, at a young age, you know, the guy that I was learning from was Lupe Ortiz, and you know, he had been around. You know, he had fought in Sacramento. He had fought all over the place. You know. You know, he didn't make it big, but he had the credentials, you know. I would go to a Brandon Gonzalez gym in Sacramento and train there because we know Brandon was a world champion at one time, you know, and we know Brandon used to train with Andre Ward and Virgil Hunter, you know, and he's got an extensive background. That's what, you know, every time I get approached by people, especially in the Valley, they'll ask me like, hey, man, I want to get my kid into boxing. You know, and I'm always quick to be like, well, I mean, what are you looking to really do? Like, is this something to buy, you know, pass the time with your kid, or are you looking to really get serious about it? Because if you're looking to really get serious about it, I'll point you to the right direction, but you're going to travel. You know, you're going to do some traveling.
Yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? And but what I will say is, I mean, they're doing a job in a fight. You know what I mean? They're there. They're in the corner. They're giving instructions to their fighter. That's a job.
Right.
I mean, like, something has to be done to make sure they get paid. You know? That's my opinion.
It's a moral thing. You know what I mean? If you really think about it, they're putting their trust into the investment they're putting in the fighter, you know, and they're doing their job. They're being the you know, I've always said that the coaches, the head coaches are the tower coach. They're the ones watching the field, right? They're seeing the plays. The guy in the ring is the coach. He's got to make those adjustments on the fly. He's the quarterback, you know, and they're putting their trust into them because they're the ones that got them there. You know, I mean, think about this. A lot of these trainers have put up their own money when it comes to tournaments and in terms of like getting them the amateur pedigree. A lot of these trainers put their own money, have put their own house on the line, their own car, you know, their paycheck to help these kids out. So it's sad to see that some of these kids, when they finally make it, they drop these trainers because they get these big paychecks and they start feeling, well, I did it all. Why does this guy deserve, you know, more than 10%? And think about that. Managers get 33 and up. The trainer that taught you how to jab, how to pair, how to move your feet, you know, has been there thick and thin, who opens up the gym for you in the morning, who drives you home or picks you up when you don't feel well or whatever, you throw him on the backseat. And he's got to trust that you're going to pay him back for all the sacrifices he's done for you. So that's what's got to change. And that's why I say we need a commission for the trainers, you know, between the relationship between the fighters, the trainers, and the promoters and managers, you know, as well as the boxing union.
That's a long list. And that's on there of the things that are wrong with the sport that we love so much, man.
Yeah.
So many things have got to change. And that's really criminal, in my opinion, man, to not have a contract there to pay your trainer. You know, like, and that's crazy.
You know, in other forms of, if you want to call it martial arts, you know, like you said, David, there's a family tree, there's the credentials, there's the belt, whatever it is.
Right.
You know, a lot of these trainers, man, that they're very qualified. They're the right guy for the job. And I don't know. I think sometimes these fighters, they think, well, you already taught me everything you could teach me, so I don't need them anymore. You know what I mean? But when you're in the trenches, when you're in a fight, you having the right person in that corner matters. You know what I mean? Because
And I agree with you. You know, there's only so much a trainer can teach him. Okay, I get that. I completely understand that. And I'll answer Julian's question that's on the comment really quick. But let me just point it out on your point, what you're saying. And that's what I'm saying. I understand all that, that if a trainer could only get you to a certain step on that ladder of greatness and you plateaued, it's okay to let that trainer go. But what I'm saying is that let him go like we would let it go a retiree, you know, with a pension, something that has, you know, showed them the gratitude. Hey, thank you for your service. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to cut you off some bread. You know, when Gennady Golovkin and Abel Sanchez went sour is because they said money. You know, Abel Sanchez was like, well, I just wanted a little bit more. I got him here. Why can I get not a little bit more of that piece of that bread? Well, what we don't really know is that pie that Gennady Golovkin's got, that contract deal, how much of it is left over for a trainer to get? Like how much is how much is Gennady Golovkin getting, and how much is that manager? How much is Tom Lawfer? How much is he really getting? Is he getting like 30? Is he getting 45, 55? That doesn't even need room for the team? Because the team, we got to remember this, it's just not the head trainer. There's other coaches. There's the fitness coach. There's, you know, all these other people in play that the fighter has to pay off, you know. But when you got somebody swallowing the majority of the percentage of that pie, it's hard to pay everybody, you know. And the only way to protect yourself is what, you know, Deontay Wilder's trainer, second assistant trainer, D did, which is become the manager. So he's kind of secured, and that's what Manny Robles was saying, is that maybe I need to do that, you know, which he's already started. He's become a manager to protect himself, whereas like, hey, if you drop me, it's okay because I'm still going to get a percentage out of your fights because I'm your manager.
It makes a lot of sense, man. Shout out to BFTB, Eurasian Failure, A-Rod still on here, Julian Anaya. What's going on, bro? And Boxing Conversation, Reggie Owens in the chat as well. Want to move gears here. And by the way, we're being joined by the one only 97 Rough Guys. Okay, he's back. All right, make sure you guys throw a jab at the like button. This is the March 11th edition of Hispanics Causing Panic. Right? Make sure you stay here. If you're listening on archive, okay, and you're on the treadmill or out walking, whatever you're doing, don't forget to hit the like button. All right, for the listen. All right, check it out, man. Dave, I want to ask you, bro.
¿Qué pasó?
Canelo, Billy Joe Saunders. It's official, not official. Well, what's going on with this, bro? What's going? Is it official or not?
I heard it's official. I've been told that's official, but what I've heard is that the Canelo team got upset because, you know, they wanted to break that story. They want to be the first to tell the fans, hey, this fight is happening. You know, I think there's still a little bit stuff left over on that contract that they got to fill out. I don't really know that the backstory to it, but that's what I've been told, that it is official. So I think that's the road that we're going to see in May is going to be Canelo versus BJ Saunders.
More than likely, the fight's official. You know, is this a case of, you know, someone leaking the story or some and Canelo being mad about it? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, if it was athletic.com that broke the story, which they've been breaking stories, you know, they've been dropping some jewels. So shout out to them for doing a great job by doing that. But sometimes they get a little ahead of them. So they've gotten some things wrong. Because, you know, unfortunately, our society is more about rushing to get the story out there first without the actual facts. So, but I think that they're actually right about this, the fight between, Canelo and BJ Saunders.
Absolutely, man. You know what it is, okay? I'll say it. The dude's a diva, okay? The dude's mad that he didn't get to release the story. He wanted to tweet it out, and he's like, no. I'm going to wait till people say it's bullshit, and then I'm going to release the story. Not the Athletic. Yo lo voy a hacer porque yo soy Canelo. Yo lo voy a mandar a mis fans. I think that's what it is. All right?
You know what's crazy is that people don't realize how much of a diva he is, okay? When I actually spoke to his cook, his chef at the time, I don't think he works for him anymore, but you literally had to leave your cell phone in this like container before you walked into the house. Everybody did. You couldn't bring a camera or anything into his home. You still can, I believe, right? You got to put it in there because he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't want nobody taking pictures of him. He doesn't want nothing kind of released, you know. So I don't know if he's like this, if he's being a diva or if he's just saying, "Hey, I'm trying to protect my privacy" or whatever. But that's what I was told by his chef that used to cook up dinner for him. Because his chef used to tell me, like, "Oh, bro, you got to see some of the viejas that come in here." And this is before Canelo, you know, had his baby and all that. He was a single dude. But yeah, you know.
No, definitely. You know what's interesting here, man, is just announce the damn fight. Whoa! Where's G-Funk at? Where the fuck's G-Funk at?
Don't worry about G-Funk.
Oh shit!
Don't you worry about G-Funk, eh? All right, this is my time, eh? This is my time.
Gilas is in the house. Puro Gilas.
That's right, eh? That's right, Holmes.
What up, Vato? Long time no talk to you, man. I haven't seen you in shit. It's been like 5-6 years, maybe, bro. How you been?
Shit, man. You say 5-6 years? I think it's been about 10. Holmes, where you been, eh?
I've been hiding out, bro. You know, luckily for me that D-Style let me out and stuff, man. But hey, welcome to the show. I heard you were gonna come through.
The last time 97 Rough was on YouTube, your son was actually pretty good.
Charlie Holmes, forget that talk, eh? My son is a 4-time world champion, eh? 4 times, eh? How many times you been champion, D-Style? Let me know, eh?
I've never been a champ, no.
That's right, eh? You guys are talking about Canelo. What about my son, eh? You guys never talk about my son.
Well, he ghost, didn't he?
He's a ghost. He's literally a ghost.
Charlie Holmes, he's coming back, eh? He's coming back.
He is coming back.
What's with G-Funk and this guy wearing Canelo shirts? What's going on around here, eh?
We were just talking about maybe your son should become a trainer, bro. I think that should be his new thing.
Nah, Holmes, I'm the trainer, eh? I train the best, eh? That's why my son, again, he went up to 147 pounds, eh? He skipped over a division to fight that chicken Mayweather, and he ran, eh? Because he's a woman beater, eh? He only wants to fight women, and his dad, too, he's a punk, eh? And any of those women beaters want it, eh? I'm ready, eh? That's bullshit, baby. You never put your hands on a woman, eh? Never. And that's why he ran from me, punk. He ran from me. I challenged him to a fight in the parking lot, eh? He didn't want to go toe-to-toe, eh? He knew what was going to happen.
Speaking of running, a lot of people are running from the coronavirus, bro. I think you're elderly. I think you're vulnerable to the coronavirus, bro. I'll just tell you that right now. I could tell.
Shit, Holmes, let me tell you something, eh? So it's gay when I was young, eh? You know how many Coronas I drank, eh? And I never got sick. I thought, what is all this about, eh? And everybody getting scared, eh? I'm going to tell you what, for this week, the coronavirus and you guys out there that are panicked, eh? You're the baby nuts of the week, eh? Because Coronas don't do nothing to me, eh? I don't know about these other two vatos here, eh? But for me, eh? I drink Coronas all night long, eh? And I feel good, Holmes. I put on some oldies, eh? I dance a little bit, you know? I feel good, eh? I don't know about you guys.
I'm feeling good too, man. You know, I've partied with Ruben and his son Junior plenty of nights, bro. So I know you could drink anybody under the table, especially when it comes to throwing it back, those Coronas and listening to some oldies, barbecuing, everything, man. So yeah,
that's right.
I'm with you.
That's right. Eh? We just got to get this guy D-Style on the same page, and then we'll be all right, eh?
Man, so we're not going to talk about your son. So is there any other thoughts? Anything you want to say about Canelo and his fight with Billy Joe Saunders? What's going on? What do you got?
Let me tell you, eh? That Billy Joe Saunders, eh? He's a chicken, eh? That's why he goes in there and runs around like a damn chicken with his head cut off, eh? I hope Canelo KOs this guy, man. In less than 5 rounds. Ruben Guerrero's calling it right now. Less than 5 rounds, he's going to KO him, man.
Híjole. You're going to make G-Funk wear that shirt for the rest of his life, vato.
Oh yeah, you know what? I don't know, man. He's getting soft on me, wearing a Canelo t-shirt. And I tell you what, if I'm right and my prediction comes right, I'm gonna make that vato wear a Ghost Guerrero shirt the next time.
There you go.
That's what I'm gonna do,
Yeah.
If your son wins another championship, I'll let you take over my channel, bro.
You guys heard it, eh? Everybody here heard that, eh? My son's gonna come back, eh? He's gonna do his thing.
A legitimate championship, not a diamond championship, okay? Not a regular,
not a Guerrero, not a Guerrero championship or anything like that. You're not gonna let him have that, no.
He's gonna come back and he's gonna get the franchise championship, eh? That's what he's gonna get, eh? Franchise.
How about the Gilas? How about the Gilas championship belt? You know,
we'll take them all, baby.
Yep.
We'll take them all, baby.
Mention the lime, bro. Joe Lopez 40 ounce, bro, with the lime. That's how you drink the Coronas, right?
That's right, and that's how you kill all those cold viruses, You put a little lime in your water or in your Corona or whatever, Put some Vicks on the chest at night, little sana, and you're good,
Sana. All right, yeah, I got you. But with that said, Ruben Guerrero, all right, if you don't get out of here right now, I'm gonna knock you out. I'll just tell you that right now.
Híjole.
Why this guy always got to talk to me like that, Why can't we're brothers, You're supposed to be my carnal, And you want to talk to me like that? What's going on,
I'm not going to hit my elders, but I will say this. We're not going to talk about your son because your son hasn't been good like in 10 years, bro.
There we go again,
Years.
There we go again.
He's got a point, Ruben. He hasn't really done a whole lot, I mean,
I'm telling you right now.
Nobody's. Here's the sad part. Nobody's even seen him around in Gilas, and 10 years too. Ever since he moved out to Vegas, bro.
He's training, He's right now. I got him hitting the bag every day, Holmes. He's ready, Don't you worry about it, Holmes. He's gonna come back strong, and then you're gonna see me right right next to him, Every time,
your son's so washed up. I don't even think he could survive the coronavirus.
Ooh.
There we go again. I told you, we drink a lot of Coronas in my house, and we never get sick, Holmes. I don't know about you guys, but we're good. We're immune to that shit over here,
All right. Any final words, Ruben Guerrero?
Just remember, what he said. If my son comes back, I'm taking over the channel, and I'm predicting it right now. Canelo, in less than 5 rounds, going to knock out that chicken runner, Billy Joe Saunders.
All right. Peace out, Ruben. Peace out. That's Ruben Guerrero for you guys.
The Mad Dog, the Mad Dog of Gilas. That's what that's how they call Gilroy over there, bro. So where you from, Gilas, No, Gilas. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What is that?
Got any anecdotal stories? Any story quick about Ruben?
You know what, man? Their family are really good people. I've actually have known them for years, man. My compadre lives across the street from Ruben. Families that Ruben's dad, Ruben Mad Dog lived there for years. It was their house. I don't know. I'm not sure if they still live there, but I know the Guerreros, one of the Guerreros, still live at that house. So I've known them for a long time, man. And I mean, when people try to ask if they're real, is that like a character? Is he really like that? I'm gonna tell you this, bro. Their family run deep. They're real homeboys. They're real. They're real. Yeah, they're real homeboys and shit. When Robert Guerrero fought Jason Litzau, right? I think that's his name, right? Litzu, yeah. Right? The All-American boy. We had him on the show after Guerrero had stopped him, and we asked him, what was going on. He said it was really hard for him to concentrate because he got scared. And I'm like, what did you get scared about? I mean, you got scared about with Robert Guerrero. He goes, oh, man, I was scared of all the cholos that were around me. They were calling me names that you're going to kick my ass. It freaked me out. I was like, oh, shit, So knowing them, like I said, it's really not a character, man. They're homeboys, bro. They're known, I'm known. That's it. They're known, You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That was sana colita de rana. All right.
That's right.
That's right, guys. Some spray and some Vicks, and you're good, bro. Don't worry about it. Right?
Right.
And one of those thick blankets with a tiger on it or something. That always does it, bro.
What's in on here says salute Dragon Style. The whole chat and panel. Absolutely. What's going on, everybody? Trigger happy, laughing his ass off. I wonder why. All right. Check it out, guys. In the description box, there's a link to Live in the Ring channel and also, G-Funk, so you guys can subscribe to the channels and hit that bell button. That way you're notified every time they come on live. All right. I want to talk about Jason Rosario. J-Rock, he doesn't want that work, at least not right away.
Don't want that smoke. He doesn't want that smoke.
Too much fire. It was a little too hot in the kitchen.
He doesn't want bananas,
Yeah, absolutely, man. What are your thoughts on that, Dave? Were you surprised by that?
No, I wasn't surprised. I actually thought it was a good, smart move for him and his team. Breadman, smartest thing Breadman could have done was to take a step back and realize that they went in with the momentum of beating Jared Hurd, and watching that fight with Rosario Banana, you kind of saw that they went in with that same type of game plan. They thought they were going to be able to push him back, close that distance, and you know, because Rosario has lost before. You know, he's been stopped. You know, the best name on his resume who had been at the time was ¿cómo se llama? Marcos Madman Hernandez. So, you know, I think they thought that, look, I'm coming off of this momentum. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to be able to push him back and I'm going to stop him. But instead, you know, Rosario had a different plan. Obviously, right? He came out there and it wasn't like the way Andy Ruiz lost to AJ. You know, he was outboxed. He was out hustled. And he was chasing down a guy that wasn't there long enough for him to let his hands go on. J-Rock was getting rocked through the whole fight. He took a major beatdown. So kudos for them for realizing, hey man, we need to take a step back and we need to reevaluate. We need to let him recover. And I think that's the key thing. You got to let this guy recover, because not only was he physically beat up, but he was mentally, you know, broken down. It's not like the same way when Charlo dropped him and knocked him out with one punch, that uppercut, you know. Right. This was something different. This was a beatdown. Systematically, absolutely.
G-Funk, were you surprised at J-Rock saying, I'm good?
No, I don't think so, man, because I do think it's a tough matchup for him, man. Even if he comes to the gym, gets in the best shape of his life, you know, has a training camp of his career, you know, I still think it's a very tough fight for him, man. And you know, I agree with what you guys said. You know, it's smart for him to take a break from, because he really took a sound beating in that fight, man. That was a thorough beating, and it surprised me, man, because I never really seen this kid fight. But man, he went in there and he stuck to a game plan and executed that thing perfectly, man. And you know, he made J-Rock look bad in there, man. But I think it's a good decision, man. You know, let him rest, let him recover. Maybe throw him a couple of tomato cans and see where he's at, and then, you know, we'll see if he's ready for that smoke. But as of right now, no smoke signals, bro, none.
And no crates of bananas, bro. You know, because after he won, Rosario won, he went bananas. His whole crew went bananas, and now I know why they gave him the nickname, man. If you listen really close to the audio, you could hear Rosario every time he would land, he would go banana, banana. You know, you got to listen real close.
Man, Rosario, bro. I'll tell you what, man, his power is real, man. And yeah, I saw that on his trunks too. I'm like, yeah, that's an interesting nickname. Like, you know, like you would think, like, you know, we're just used to like the assassin or like the, I don't know, like, you know, that
would fuck me up. Wouldn't it fuck you up? Wouldn't that psychologically like mess you up? Because like you just said right now, dude. I mean, if I stepped in the ring and I saw, you know, because you can say, oh, the Hitman, you know, the Motor Cobra City guy, you know, Hands of Stone. There, I'm like, okay, this guy thinks it's Hands of Stone. But if I'm in the ring and I see this guy come in with banana, that would like kind of fuck, because now I'm thinking like, hey, coach, why is this guy called Banana? Like, what the fuck? You know, what's going on here? Who am I fighting? You know, so I don't know. It's a really, really weird nickname, dude. And I think that might have been a distraction for not just for J-Rock. I think the whole world, bro, that witnessed that fight were kind of puzzled of why he was called Banana.
Has anybody interviewed him and asked him?
I haven't yet. I haven't had a chance. No.
That has to be a question. Like, why banana? Like, why not apple, or like you know what I mean? Like,
right?
You know, like, why that? Why not
mango? Why not mango? You know?
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like, but that's interesting.
I would want to be called Modelo.
Yeah,
or something like that. You know, Modelo.
El Modelo.
El Modelo. You know.
That'd be my name, bro. I'll walk the aisle. You know
that's a fucking cool nickname, bro. You know what I mean? Name yourself after a beer, eh? You know, I'm game for that. Here comes into the ring, 805. G-Funk 805.
G-Funk 805 with a Canelo
versus Coors Light D style.
You know what's
Coors
funny?
Light doesn't have a punch.
Coors Light
doesn't have a punch.
But I wanted to
How did I know that? Eh? How did I know that?
Dos Equis G style.
Dos Equis. There you go. Okay. All right. But I wanted to say, like, it's only a matter of time before these corporations put like own the nickname. You know what I mean? You got to come out to like the name of whatever that corporation is. You know what I mean? So.
Well, Bananas not one of the. I mean,
I know.
Think about it.
Dole manufactures. I mean, they distribute bananas.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, but let's not forget the Mexican legend, Humberto Chiquito Gonzalez. Man, he had that banana look too. You know, he always wore the yellow shoes and the trunks, and So just throwing that out there.
Because he was chiquito, though. But his was because he was chiquito. That's why,
Right. G-Funk's wanted an excuse to say the name.
They say the name.
That's my boy. That's my boy, man. I put him in my top 10 Mexican fighters of all time.
Man,
I think G-Funk likes that Canelo power shirt too much, bro. It's like 2 sizes too small for you. You can see your nipples right now. I'm uncomfortable.
It's cutting off the circulation in my brain, bro.
With that said, I want to ask you guys.
Go ahead.
All right. We got a fight on Saturday. Stevenson, Marriaga. Marriaga's a hell of a puncher. I think we could all agree he's not as good of a boxer as Stevenson.
No.
I don't think his path to victory is not unanimous decision or split decision or any of that. He's got to land that haymaker. Dave, does he have a decent shot?
Well, I think he has more of a decent shot than anybody's giving him right now. I mean, if you really think about Miguel Marriaga's record, he's on a 4-streak win right now. He's knocked out 3 guys out of that streak, okay? But if you look at his resume of who he's lost to, the names that are on that resume who he's lost to are really, really good names to lose to. You got Lomachenko, you got Oscar Valdez, and then you got Nicholas Walters, the Axeman, and he went the distance with these guys. So, in terms of who's got the better resume and who has seen more world class, you got to give it to Marriaga. Shakur, he's a southpaw. He's got 13 wins, 7 KOs, and the best name on his resume is his future, brother-in-law, Hoyt Gonzalez, right? You know what I mean? And I didn't really see like any passion from Gonzalez. The buildup was more fun to watch than the actual fight. So I don't know. I think it's really hard to say that Stevenson's going to go out there and blow out Miguel when he couldn't blow out a guy that didn't even want to be a dance partner with him on that night when they face each other, Stevenson and Gonzalez. So to me, Marriaga has to go out there and he's got to let him know, like, look, I'm the experienced guy. I'm the dude that has the more KOs on my record. I'm the guy that you guys are probably overlooking. And he's got to make his presence right away. And the best way to stop boxers is to always be a step ahead of them. Never allow them to set, never allow them to establish a jab, and just immediately take away their ring generalship. And if you take away a boxer's ring generalship, it's almost like they're walking through a forest. They don't know how to find a way out. It forces them to do something they normally don't like to do, which is start cutting away with a machete, cutting that grass so that they can see what's in front of them. So that's going to be Marriaga's task to do. But can he do it? Is his legs fast enough? Is he wear and tear? I don't know. We're going to find out, though, on Saturday, March 14th.
G-Funk, you are giving him a shot, Marriaga?
G-Funk?
Yeah, man. I think he's probably got a puncher's chance at best in my eyes, but he is tough, and he's like you said, he's gone the distance with some pretty good guys, especially Lomachenko. It's difficult fighting a guy like Lomachenko because he can frustrate you with his movements and things like that. So to be able to stay in there 12 rounds with him is
Oh, he actually quit in that fight.
He did quit.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. Yeah. So, but he's got to come out and establish himself right away. I think if he's got the mentality to just try to land something big and that's it, like one big blow and try to turn the fight around, I think he's mistaken. I don't think that's the right philosophy. I think he's just got to come in here and try to force some exchanges with Stevenson, make him uncomfortable when he can. And again, not get frustrated, because we know Stevenson is a guy who can box and, he can make you look silly at times. So, you're going to have to live with missing some shots wildly here and there. And, but he's got to stay focused and just chip away, man. Literally chip away at this guy, like cutting down a tree, like you said. Land your big shots here or there, but stay focused, man, and don't let him frustrate you. But I think as far as percentage goes, like I would give him, just like I said, a puncher's chance to win this fight. I think they're breeding Stevenson here to become a big star, which I think he's got that potential. He's a hell of a fighter, and
he does. If he can come out with an A+ grade on this fight here, I think he's got the potential. I think that's the mark that we've been all waiting for. And I agree with you, G-Funk, is that Marriaga can't wait for Stevenson to dictate the momentum. Mm-hmm. He's got to be first, and he can't just like throw one punch like you said, because Hoyt Gonzalez did that, and look what happened. He threw one punch, and then that was it. He didn't follow through. So Marriaga has to put punches together, and he's got to create these moments, and that's where he's got to go in with the mentality is that I fought better oppositions than you. Like, can we really say Stevenson is in the same breath of Lomachenko right now? No. He's still a prospect rising up there. So it's Marriaga's camp to get in his head that, hey, listen, you're the more seasoned guy. You're the one with the better resume. You have faced better fighters. Go out there, show this kid no respect. Don't let him breathe. The way Orlando Salcido did to Lomachenko in their first match, which was to really be on top of him every second, break that rhythm, break the boxer's rhythm, and that's what he's got to do. But it's to be seen. If he doesn't do that, I still think the verdict is still out for Stevenson. I'm hoping that we see something that's kind of gut pulled from Stevenson that's been created by Marriaga. I'm hoping that we're going to get that because we all want to see a good fight. We all want to see a guy with high hopes be tested so that we can know whether or not, okay, this guy's the goods.
Absolutely. And you guys are tuning in to Hispanics Causing Panic, March 11th edition. Make sure you throw a jab at the like button.
Yep.
Okay, there's 4 of you at least that have not pressed it to get me to those 30 likes. Let's get there ASAP. Jab it. That's the most important punch in boxing. It's the most important move on YouTube. Okay, jab it. Help give my channel more visibility. And make sure you subscribe and hit that bell button as well. All right. We're going to change gears here. Look, man, we got – I want to talk about the Pantera Luis Neri, right? Big fan of the guy, but, I was kind of disappointed when he didn't make weight. He missed, what was it, like 5 pounds or something like that? It might have failed
drug tests too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So a lot of issues with Pantera, but – in terms of, watching him in the ring, he's one of my favorite fighters to watch.
Right.
And he's got the goods. And I know earlier I couldn't find like what weight class I was looking on BoxRec, but it wouldn't tell me. But I asked Dave here and he found out it's at 122 pounds. Okay.
Right.
That
we know of right now. That we know of. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's right now what's being said is the bar for the moment, but it can all change. It's boxing,
Yeah, because I found it weird that it shouldn't be that difficult to find the weight that they're fighting at. Is this like a Chavez Jr. situation?
I was just
gonna say that, man. I swear I was just gonna say
that.
I hope not, man. Just fight at 122 pounds, bro. I mean, you're not making 118. Just move up. All right,
move up, eh?
Just move up.
Don't be stupid. Just move up.
Exactly, but he's fighting later this month, man. But what I mainly want to talk about is that if he moves up to 122, and we have him, we got Navarrete, we got Ray Vargas. I mean that's too many Mexicans that are not fighting each other in the same weight class. Okay, and when I was growing up, like there wasn't room for more than one. You get what I mean? Whether it was, Morales, Barrera going at it, whatever it was, like, nah, bro, I represent Mexico, not you. Like, I'm the dude of this division, and I want to see that. I want to see that competitiveness. I want to see these guys fight, Dave, what are your thoughts on these guys, potentially fighting? Is it possible? Are we going to get these fights?
I think it's possible if Luis can stay on the right track. You know, I think it comes down to him. You know, in terms of like what we feel about Andy Ruiz not being disciplined. Well, and Neri's the same way, and if not worse. So, you know, I'd love to see these matches, but I think we need to find out whether or not is he going to stay there at 122, because like I said, this could change a week out of the fight. We'll find out whether or not it's a solid weight for him. Is it workable for him? And everything else, you know, this is a discipline and a mental thing for him, and he's having issues with it. And these have been early signs of him having issues.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, they won't put the damn weight. Okay. They won't announce the damn weight. But I wouldn't be surprised if he has a hard time making 122. If who knows? You know what I mean? With a guy with that history, right. I hope he fixes that, man. If there's look, there's one thing our people don't like. We can if you try your best and you lose, that's not a problem. Okay, it's when you're not, when no le pones ganas. You know, when you don't go out there and take it serious, and that's why we're hard on Andy Ruiz. It's not that he lost to Joshua. It's just that, you know, he came in looking like a walrus in a heavyweight title fight, you know? And in Neri's case, he's his own, like, worst enemy.
Yeah.
You know, Jifa, what are your thoughts, bro, on Luis Neri just overall and him at 122? Better weight class for him, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Time to move it up because you're not making weight. So move it on up. Maybe you'll be a little bit faster. Maybe you'll be a little bit stronger at that weight. But I hope he does get his act together. It's just one too many times. You know, I'm like that dude on Up in Smoke at the beginning. When, boy, when are you going to get your shit together? You know, like,
bam.
Yeah, I'm just waiting on this guy, you know, because I do think he's a fantastic fighter, man. And, you know, I was really upset at him for ruining that possible Inoue fight, because that was one I wanted to see so bad, you know.
I was like, chingas, man. Like, are you fucking serious, bro? When I saw that, I was like, bro, come on, dude.
And then he didn't even like at least do the part like you're trying. He didn't even try.
I know. He didn't even try, bro. It just gave me a reason to pick up a beer again. I was at the bar and I was like, pour me another, that is.
Hit me again. But yeah, I think he's a hell of a fighter, man. And I want the best for him, man, because I want to see what he can do. And you know, the Inoue fight, it's still there, man. I mean, he's one weight division up. Who knows what Inoue's gonna do if he? Well, I don't know who he's gonna fight next, but you know, he could move up to 122 himself, and then you know we could get this fight maybe. But geez, man, it's frustrating, man, when these guys don't make weight, because we've talked about this on this show a lot, D-Style.
Yeah.
One damn job to do, and that's make weight. You know, one damn job, man. So win, boy, win.
Yeah, like dude, I'll eat the pizzas for you and the tacos and all that. Let me do that, okay? You know. Right. So this Aaron Alameda guy, are you familiar with him, Dave? I haven't heard of him.
No, I'm not. I can't sit there. I'm not familiar with him. I haven't really even done any research on the kid, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I haven't looked them up either. But I do know that they're both southpaw. They have around the same dimensions, and he's undefeated. So it'll be interesting. You know what I mean? But I first need to see if Neri could win the fight against the scale. You know what I mean? Because the scale's getting W's on Neri. You know what I mean? So he needs to fix the problem with the scale. And by the way, was he the one that missed weight right after Thanksgiving? Was that him?
No. Who was that? Somebody came in way overweight. I forgot who that was, though.
Yeah, there was a fighter that came in like a ridiculous amount of weight right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
He's all turkey. What do you mean turkey?
I think the turkey was all. It was a pumpkin pie. I didn't even touch the turkey.
It was tamales. That's what it was.
Yeah, tamales. That's right.
They started early.
Neri, don't visit your grandma, okay?
Yep.
Before the fight, Okay, celebrate afterwards.
I don't think people understand too. When you're Latino, especially Mexicano, you could be 5'2", 220, 40 pounds. And if you go to your abuela's house, you're always skinny to them. Like, ah, mira, amigo, you look like you don't eat. Your old lady don't feed you or what? Siéntate, you know, I made some homemade tortillas, and it's just no way you can deny it. Like, oh, fuck, you're right, grandma.
Especially the homemade tortillas,
dude,
bro.
That's kryptonite right there,
that's kryptonite,
man.
Man.
Yeah.
Jeez, dude. You know, I miss my grandma's homemade, man. I mean, you know, I don't even get me started, eh? I mean, I'm getting hungry over here and shit.
Especially a boxer trying to slim down. The grandma will be like, "Oh, no, ¿Qué pasó aquí?" You know,
como agua. ¿Cómo no más agua?
Agua. Absolutely.
Nomás necesitas chingar un 7-Up. Estás bien, cabrón. You know?
Now, speaking of 122, Dave, I want to ask you. We talked about this before, but I want your thoughts. Navarrete Vargas.
Yes.
What is your thoughts on that fight? I want to see that fight
against Luis.
No, not Navarrete versus Vargas.
Oh, I think it's a great fight, dude. I haven't sat down to really measure them out and break their styles yet. You know, but I mean, immediately that's a fan-friendly fight. You know, Vargas he's got some wear and tear there. You know, Navarrete's got that steam rolling right now. He's got that momentum. So, you know, this is going to be a crafty, brutal fight, in my opinion. You know, who's got the upper hand right off the bat? God, I got to lean with Navarrete at the moment until I start like watching tape. And that's normally what I do. As I sit there with a 12-pack, 24, I'm lying, it's a 24-pack. But I sit there and I watch. And
it's a 32-pack.
It's a 32-pack palo. But I'll sit there and I'll watch the fights, and then I start breaking all my notes, and then I start looking at it. And 9 out of 10 times I get it wrong, but it's the effort of how many cervezas I can get it through before I pass out.
That's right.
That right, G-Style?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna have to start stealing your method, bro.
Man, oh man. I drink Dos Equis. That shit don't get you drunk. All right,
no, Tecate and Dos Equis, bro. They're like it's Mexican water. You know what I mean?
Right.
They'll give you the pedos and all that, and go to run to the bathroom, but to get you buzzed, no.
Yeah, look. Boxing, my Mexican nephew's grandma is like that with him. The lady spoils the hell out of the kid with food. That's right.
Hey, anytime you're hungry, bro, go to grandma's house anytime.
You'll see an empty fridge, and somehow she comes out with a big plate of food for you. It's great. I don't know how to pull it off. Right?
For some reason, he's not fitting in the baby chair anymore. You know, the car seat. He's not fitting in the car seat. I don't know what to do with them. Yeah, that's what happens, bro. When if you're married into a Mexican family, it happens. You know.
Most definitely. We're going to go one more topic. I want to thank you again, Dave, for coming on here.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely, man. Make sure you guys, the description box, the link to his channel, and also G-Funk's channel, make sure you subscribe, okay? You want to see G-Funk go at it with Canelo fans, by all means, okay? And we talked about Canelo. For other people, you never talk about Canelo. And
we didn't.
And all that. Yeah.
We didn't talk about Canelo. Ruben Guerrero talked about Robert. He interrupted our conversation.
Hey, he said he's going to knock out, Saunders in 5 rounds. You guys should be happy.
Oh, right? Shit, that's right. That's right. My bad.
Yep. But, man, there was a great interview on your channel, man, with Chocolatito's trainer, Mr. Caballero, and he said that he wants to run back with Rungasai a 3rd time or run it back with Estrada in a rematch. Now, that fight I want to see. Okay, because I want to see because I believe Estrada's improved since then.
Right.
And in my opinion, well, I don't even know how to gauge Chocolatito right now because he looked really good in his last fight. You know what I mean?
He looked great, bro. He looked really good. I mean,
yeah.
I think everybody kind of wrote him off the map. I don't think anybody could say like, oh, I never did. No, you did. We all did. I did. And I'm Red is part of that camp. And if you're a listener from Leave the Ring back in the days on my YouTube channel, Red was our publicist, okay, and Red moved on to now being an assistant coach and helping out other fighters. Like he's helping out that one. What's that one Mexicano kid? That 6'6", that dude that only it's all legs. He's all legs, no torso, just the neck and legs, and then hands off the ankles. What's that kid's name? Fundora, Javier Fundora.
Something
right?
like that,
yeah. So, but Red keep telling me, he's like, bro, you got to see him, dude. I mean, he's doing hella road work. He's doing this. He looks really good. He's beating up his sparring partners, all this stuff. And I was like, I'm at the way, like, whatever, bro, you know? I was like, okay. And he's like, I'm telling you, he's going to impress you, dude. He's going to impress you. And I'm like, okay, Red. Oh, and if you know Red, we used to call him Machine Gun Red because he could fucking fit 3 paragraphs in 1 sentence. That's how fast he talks. So, I would be like, yeah, whatever, Red, whatever. And he told me, so I'm telling you, bro, he's going to impress you. He's going to impress. And I know it's hard to impress you, D. He's going to impress you. And I was like, all right. And fuck, dude, I was impressed. I don't know about you guys, but I was impressed, Granted that, what was the kid's name? Yafai fought the wrong fight. He felt that he was the younger, stronger guy. He thought, as everybody else thought, that he was done. He was done. That Roman was done, and he thought he was going to walk him down and beat the legend. But the legend still lives. So, everybody. You know what? Japan has Inoue. As Godzilla. We got the Kukui from Latin America, and his name is Roman Gonzalez.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad fight at all. Do you think he can beat Rungasai in the 3rd fight?
Oh, that's a tough one, man.
Man, he put me on the spot. Give me that shirt. Give me that Canelo Power shirt now, man.
You know what? I think he can pull it off. I think he can. I think he can. You know what? Here's the thing about Marcos Caballero. If nobody knows the name, okay, his kids are both fighters, Randy Caballero and Romo Caballero. I mean, trying to entice him and keep telling them like, hey, I can help you. I can get you back. I can get that motivation back. I can get you back into that, into where you were at, what you're lacking, what you're missing. I can bring that back because he's an old school teacher. Marcos, right. He's an old school teacher. You ever get a chance to sit and talk to him? If you guys were at the fights and you walk across Marcos, pick his brain. And he's an encyclopedia, man. He's really smart, and he's always open to speak to the fans and media or anybody that wants to discuss boxing. The guy knows his shit. So when I found out that they were working together, I was like, okay, I was interested. But at the same time is when a fighter has left everything that he's dedicated in that ring, how do you bring that spirit back into that, into that vessel that we thought was empty now, right? How do you do that? Well, fuck. I got to find the spell book that Marcos is carrying around because, dude, we saw the Kakui in there, We saw the ghost. He should be called the ghost because that's what we saw that night. And a lot of us were so happy for him, man. I know I was. I called him immediately. Bring Ruben back.
Oh, shit. Don't bring Gilas back.
We're going to be like, you know what I mean? Bro, let me say this, dude. And look, I completely understand people saying in the chat, no way he beats Rangazai. And I get it. This is the guy that stopped him. Obviously, you know what I mean? But
just didn't stop him, beat him up.
Well, yeah. So I get that, and that's going to have a mental effect going into a 3rd fight and all that. But what about? Do you think he'll have a better shot with Estrada, than Rangazai?
Well, he beat Estrada. I mean, he's got an up on him.
Yeah.
So that there, I think, is what they have on their side. But like you said, D-Style, this is a different Estrada. It's not the same one. Right. And that was a back and forth war as well. So Rangazai and Estrada, they're always going to have the upper because there was always going to be questions, not just from us as fans or media or whatever, right? About Roman. It's still going to be lingering in the back of his head. That's something he can't erase. But there's the thing that I like about is that, like I said, having Marcos Caballero on his side, it's a fresh new look. And sometimes when you still got enough left in that tank, it's enough to light up whatever gas is in there to still take out what you want to, to leave on your legacy. So I think it's a good move that they're able to get him back on point, and having such a good win, a spectacular win like that is a good boost for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at that, bro. You don't attack a dude with trunks that say taken. Okay, you just don't do it. That's what he did. But at that moment, dude knew he fucked up, though. Right now. But that was an interesting interview, man. And people should definitely check it out on the Leave It in the Ring channel. G-Funk, what are your thoughts about him fighting Estrada a second time?
I love it. I love that they want that smoke and that they want to run it back, because that's always been my philosophy here since I've been talking boxing on YouTube, is that if a fight is close, we got to run that thing back, man. No excuses, regardless of who wins, so we got to run that shit back. So this is something that's been brewing for a little bit, Chocolatito, after that fight, he became, the darling of the networks, as where Estrada kind of hung back in the basement of boxing, down in those lower weight classes. But now that Estrada's put himself out there, he's doing his thing. He's got the victory over Sarong V-Side, who knocked out Chocolatito. I thought he beat him twice, but the first fight was a draw, I believe, or did they give that fight to Estrada? I can't remember who actually won that fight, but it was a good fight. I felt Estrada beat him twice though. So and their fight was very close also. So I would like to see this new and improved version of Chocolatito and this new and improved version of Estrada. We might get a totally different fight than the first time. I mean, I don't know, but as of right now, I think Estrada is the better fighter, and I will pick him in that fight. The Sarong V-Side, man, ooh, that's tough though. But you know what? The thing about that is, the first time they fought, that was a close fight too. Even though Sarong V-Side got the win, that was a fight that Chocolatito was able to hang in there with him and go the distance. In a war, he was all bloody, So,
no.
I mean, I understand that he knocked him out cold in the rematch, but he knows he can hang with him. He knows he can hang with him. And now that he's got a new trainer who's got him on the right path, and he looked spectacular in his last fight. So anything can go, man. But I would give a slight edge to Sarong V-Side, and I would favor Estrada just a little bit more against Chocolatito in a rematch. But these little guys, man, they get down, bro. So anything can happen in these fights, man.
I'm still a fan of the Rat King. I mean, he just came off of a win as well, knocked out the guy in a few rounds. So I mean, it's tough to pick against the Rat King. It's just really hard to pick against him, to tell the truth.
Yeah, man. I want to ask you one more question. This wasn't on the rundown, but because I know it brought to mind because you spoke about, in a way, being this monster, Godzilla from Japan and all that. But Rigondeaux wants that work, bro. He's saying he's going monster hunting. And a lot of Inoue fans don't like it when I say this, but that's not a easy win for Inoue at all, not in my opinion.
No, I mean, look, he went the distance with Nonito Dornier, who Rigondeaux just dismantled. Okay, like him or not, I love Rigondeaux. Okay, I've always loved what he brings. A lot of folks say he's boring, he's this and that, but he knocks out guys. And he knocks them out in great KO fashion. All right, now can he drag a fight? Can he drag him out? Can he do? Of course, he could drag a fight where he's thinking up the place, but he's a Cuban defect, and that's what they've been taught. They're not there to entertain the whole value. They're there to win. They want to win, So Rigondeaux is always going to be very dangerous. Everybody, here's the crazy part. Everybody was writing off Rigondeaux. They said he got old because he was standing and he was trading. But his last fight, with Solis, he and I said this, Solis was on a streak, and Solis is one of these volume punchers. Does Rigondeaux really want to do that with old legs? And guess what he did? He showed us his legs are not old. He was opting to fight like that. So that first round told us everything. He wasn't going to win that fight, and he was smart enough to go, okay, guys, I excited you guys all. I gave you guys a hard on the last two fights that you've seen me in this ring, and now you guys are going to have to put the lotion away because I'm going to bore the shit out of you. And that's what he did. And he got the win.
Yeah. And it was a great performance, but I think a lot of dudes in the media just labeled him a boring fighter, and that's just on people's mind, in my opinion. You know
It's
what I mean?
terrible. Terrible what happened to him after the
But,
Donaire win, man. Terrible.
yeah.
Well, thank Dan Raphael for that one, because for some reason Dan's always had it out for Rigondeaux. And I've talked to Rigondeaux a few times and spoken to his camp and everything, and they were really on the attack from even from some of the guys that worked under my banner at the time. I don't know what it is. They didn't like the guy, just didn't like him. I guess because he didn't really smile. The personality was dead. I mean, look what Bob Arum. Bob Arum was like, I don't know what to do with this guy. How do I promote him? Nobody wants to see him. His own promoter was throwing him under the bus. So it just left a bad taste for a lot of fans and everybody. Unfortunately, especially in boxing, they run like sheeps. Whoever has the better plug, they're going to go with, and Rigondeaux keep doing what he did best, which is win, and dismantle guys. When he did it to Nonito Donaire, man, I knew that he was going to do that. I was picking Rigondeaux, because I felt that Donaire, kind of coming from San Leandro, I felt that he left the roots where he was from. He became a celebrity. Remember, he was on ringside taking pictures, and I was like, what is this guy doing? We would go and cover him, and he would mimic other fighters in the ring rather than working on his craft. And he was there entertaining everybody at a media workout. And I was a huge turnoff for me. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I want to see you be serious. That's why I'm here. You know what I mean? So I knew that Rigondeaux was a serious fighter, still is he's very serious about his craft, and if you're not serious about your craft, he's always going to be an upper on you. And I've always said that Rigondeaux is a sniper. He doesn't waste punches. His punches count for something. And that's a lost art in boxing. Okay. It's the sweet science. Hit and not get beaten, not get hit. And it's weird how a lot of fight fans, they say, oh, he's a bore fest. He sucks. I don't want to watch him, blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, in that same breath, you'll hear people go, oh, but I love Pernell Whitaker, and I love this guy. It's
but
really
you don't
funky
think
and weird.
I think that happens a lot of times, they don't like them in the moment, but later on when they're all-time greats and people act like they were a fan the whole time.
Yeah. After they're retired, they do that a lot. Yeah. No, I love Rigo, man. Rigo is a master in there, And I was in the minority back in 2013 when I made my prediction video here on YouTube where I said Rigo was going to beat Donaire. He beat him up pretty good in that fight. And if he could get that Inoue fight, hey, I said it just like when I made my prediction for the Donaire Inoue fight. Inoue has zero defense, man. This guy gets hit a lot in there. And Donaire, a guy who doesn't let his hands go like certain fighters do, he was able to land hard, nice right, especially his right hand has improved a lot. That right hand was landing home and hurt Inoue in that fight.
Yep.
I can imagine, like you said, a sniper like Rigo. Oh my God, he might do some serious damage to Inoue, man, because he's not responsible defensively, man. He likes to throw punches, he likes to hunt for the knockout, and we know Rigo's a guy, he don't have to move around the ring. He could stand right there and duck and move and slip and counter you off rolls and stuff. So that's a dangerous fight for Inoue, man. I want to see it.
I love to see it, and you know what? Nonito Donaire hasn't thanked Rigondeaux for giving him that beatdown and reminding him that he's a fighter first before he's a celebrity. Because after that beatdown, notice that Nonito started taking some real challenges. He went in with Walters, which was just too big for him, and made him come back down. So in a lot of ways, Rigondeaux did him a favor. He woke him up. And that was a great win. It was he lost against Inoue, but in my eyes, that was a great win because it rejuvenated Nonito Donaire, who we had already written off as in. In that series, he was really getting the luck of the draw. You know what I mean? Everybody was like, "Oh, this guy got sick," or this and this and that. So, kudos to Rigo because the master, helped out somebody that shouldn't have been in that position.
Yeah, man, I want to thank the chat for being engaged. Shout out to BFTB, to Raw Boxing TV, Trigger Happy, E. Woodson. Very, very pro Rigondeaux chat for sure. And that's good to see, man, because this dude doesn't get a lot of love. So wherever he gets it, he should get it. And with that said, guys, we've gone through everything and extra, right? G-Funk, give us some final thoughts, bro.
Well, like always, man, I want to say thank you to D-Style for having me on the platform again. I love doing the Hispanics Causing Panic. We got our brother Leaving in the Ring back. You know, we're gonna have to call you the Tomb Raider, D-Style. I said it last week. We had Rob Boxing on, who was away for 5 years. Then we get Leaving in the Ring back after several years, and even myself, I took a 2-3 year break. So
back on YouTube, but yeah,
you're bringing us back from the dead, man.
Right.
But, no, this was great, man. I enjoyed talking with you guys. I love talking boxing, so anytime, man, I'm ready. Thanks to everybody out there in the chat. If you guys haven't hit the like button, make sure you do that. If you're not subscribed to Leave It in the Ring, D-Style or G-Funk, make sure you do that right now, man. Stop playing around, or I'm gonna get Ruben Guerrero out here and start knocking some heads around. All right.
You don't want the whole Gilas after you. I'll tell you that. You know.
That's right.
That's right. Make sure you guys throw a jab at the like button. Make sure that like button turns blue. Share the video on your social media platforms. And the one, the only 97 Rough. Dave, you give us some final thoughts, bro.
Hey, man. Thank you, bro, for inviting me, dude. I had a lot of fun here.
Or let me see. Give us some There Will Be Blood fight show final thoughts.
Final thoughts, huh? Final thoughts. Well, I'm happy I'm back on YouTube. That's for sure. You know, like I said, I've been away too long. I concentrated too long on podcasting, you know, which I'm still doing. But I enjoy, you know, being on YouTube, talking to the OGs of the boxing community, the guys that really made up that community. You know, I know there's a lot of newbies, and I, you know, people have told me like, hey, be careful with these guys, be careful. But you know, I'm here to talk boxing, and that's it. You know, I'm not here to if I say something to offend you about your favorite fighter, well, I'm sorry. You know, I don't mean to, but you know, I try to stay as unbiased as I can. I like to look at both situations of a fighter. I like to dig deep into their styles. I like to dig deep into their camps, and I do all of that. You know, the sport that I love, man. I love this sport in and out, no matter what. It's failed me. I don't know how many times, but it always reels me back in, you know. And I've always said that us fight fans, we're like that housewife that gets beat up with the guy with the dirty tea. You know, we just never seem to know how to give up. We always say one more chance. I'm going to give him one more chance. And that's us, man. But yeah, dude, this is a great platform. I'm happy to be on here, bro. I'm really glad that you invited me, dude. I had a really good time.
Hey, we're sick. We're sick, man. We need our fix, man. We can't leave it for so long, man. I understand what you mean, man. I do.
Well, I didn't leave. I want to make that clear with everybody. I never left. What I did is that because the you know, at the time, podcasting was a thing that really nobody was touching. And if you know me, I'm the guy that always was like, you know, let me try this. Let me try that. You know, when I was doing YouTube, there was only 3 of us that were actually doing interviews, like going out to gyms and speaking to fighters. It was myself, Jose Aguirre, Fire. I don't know if you guys remember him. And then there was Raheem, Rado Raheem, who's now getting his notoriety, which is fantastic for him. I know Rado Raheem. He's a really good dude, you know. I would see him on the beat. And you know, so that's why I moved on. I saw that happening, and I said, nobody's doing a boxing website, you know, because I felt, and I'm going to be honest, I know I'm going to get a lot of flack, and I always do when I say this about media. They don't, in my opinion, when I started doing this YouTube thing, I felt, and I know D-Style felt like this, they weren't covering it the way it should be covered.
Right. Like
they weren't speaking to the fans. You know, and I didn't like it when I would try to speak to these media guys, and they basically would tell me like, you don't know shit. You know what I mean? You know, blah, blah, blah. You know, this is what I'm writing. This is my article. And I felt like we weren't getting that coverage. And I still feel like that, you know, and there are a lot of media guys that I know that have tried to shun me. They've tried to shut me up. They don't like me. Well, number one, they didn't like me because I came from YouTube. They didn't respect what we were doing here on YouTube, you know. And even when I was doing podcasting, they didn't respect it. The reason why they didn't expect it because they got pissed because they were like, who's this fucking vato? Who's this Mexican dude that just came out of nowhere, doesn't have no journalistic background, and he's getting fighters on the show, and he's breaking PD stories, and he's, Steve Kim started it, and I came behind him talking about Al Heyman, digging into Al Heyman's background, a lot of stuff, and they didn't like it. So guys that are doing YouTube, keep it up. Keep up what you guys are doing, because the fact of the matter is boxing needs a full coverage, not just a minute coverage. They need a full coverage, Just keep doing your thing. Whether I agree with it or whether you agree with it, it doesn't really matter. If it feels right to you, do it.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is that things are coming full circle, because a lot of these, and I'm not going to mention names, but a lot of these guys that used to look down on YouTube, guess what they're doing? They're starting YouTube channels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's what they're doing. Okay, they're here on YouTube trying to, because YouTube is the biggest platform in terms. It's the biggest website in the world.
Well, look, man, Fight Hub. Marcus. I'm here. Fuck, I can't believe I can't even think of his last name. But that kid, he did Fight Hub. It's off of YouTube, and now he's on. He's the unofficial scorekeeper for PBC. Okay, big kudos to him. Fucking great job. Radio Raheem, he comes from YouTube as well. He was doing Seconds Out and Max Boxing, and he ends up on Joe Rogan's show for having that infamous interview with Deontay Wilder till this day. Great job. You know what I mean? These are guys that have put in the work. They stuck to it, and now they're reaping what they've sowed. And I think that's a fantastic thing. I think it's great that guys from YouTube are getting that recognition, because for years, I'm telling you, man, I had
Marcos Villegas,
right? I'll tell you a funny story. I'm a guy from YouTube, and this is when I was like at my highest. When I was just not my highest. This is when I was at like my peak, right? I was getting fighters after fighters, man, on the show. I had Nate Campbell, Bradley on at the same time, cussing each other out. I had Issa Smith at the time. Nobody wanted to fight him in the middleweight. He comes on because Kid Chocolate was talking shit about him. He goes on there. All this shit, right? Callie Swanson, who's a big wig and as a PR, who works for Floyd Mayweather, calls me in my direct number, and this is how she starts the conversation with me. Who in the fuck do you think you are? With your stupid little YouTube show and your stupid little website, and at that time she worked for Golden Boy. She goes, and she worked for Golden Boy. She was working for Golden Boy, Bernard Hopkins. She goes, your stupid little YouTube show, your stupid little she goes, stupid little website, and your stupid little fucking interviews. That's what the bitch said to me. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I didn't mean like that. Okay, but that's what she said to me.
Or wrong, out here, it's all good.
Right, and I said, excuse me, the stupid little interviews, the fighters that I'm interviewing? She goes, yeah. Well, those are Golden Boy fighters. Do they know that you feel that way about them? And she got quiet. Well, what I'm trying to say is that's when I knew this is what they think of us. So we just need to keep pounding and going. And like I said, look, how many views you get here on your show, and all these other I see all these other guys are doing their live streams, how many views they're getting. It's bound for them to recognize it and respect it. Just right now in the chat room, Teddy Atlas is on fucking YouTube now. Mike Tyson's on YouTube.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though.
Go
ahead. When we started YouTube a couple of years ago, right? Mm-hmm. There was ESPN wasn't on YouTube. Okay, Fox Sports wasn't on YouTube. YouTube was literally for guys like you and me.
Yeah,
okay? To come on camera and talk about whatever you want to talk about. Okay, YouTube, that's literally the name of the freaking website. Okay, corporate. So a lot of these guys are on YouTube.
Yep.
Dan Rafael could look down on YouTube all he wants, but when his fat ass talks, okay, all right, they put it on ESPN, right? And
I literally can't even hear what he's saying. He's always got food in his mouth, so I don't know how you understand what he's saying.
but you know what I'm saying, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all these guys, they're all on YouTube. They're all coming to YouTube. A lot of these writers are on YouTube. Okay, all the years that they talk shit about YouTube, this is where they're coming. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Hey, at the end of the day, let me just throw this out there before I let you go, okay? At the end of the day, listen, as much as they would look down at YouTube and talk shit, I had the majority of media writers working for me, guys, under my banner. Okay, and a lot of the guys that you see on Ring now, Ring TV or whatever, these big sites, they were with me first. They had their start with me, and they and recognizable names. worked with me, you know. So I knew that they wanted to you know, they understood what they were doing. They were trying to figure it out. You get it? They were trying to figure out, how are these guys doing it? How are they getting mass listeners? You know, because I had mass listeners, just like you had mass listeners. All these other guys, Blood has mass listeners. You know, we have mass listeners. We have an audience. And it's not a niche audience. It's a cult audience, you know, because I got guys that have been listening to me for 10, 12, 14 years, right? I mean, look at homeboy over here. Where is it at? He said, Chicano Prophet, you know, Jose Suleiman hung up on me. Canelo hung up on me. I had everybody hang up on me. I was like, my heart's broken, vato, you know, but yeah, you know, it's just one of those things, you know, it's ironic. It's complete full circle.
Yeah, it is a full circle. And in case they're wondering, boxing fans can tell when someone's talking boxing, they can tell if this person is one passionate about the sport, right? And if they've been a lifelong fan. I'm a third generation boxing fan. Like my grandfather was a boxing fan. He passed it on to my dad. My dad passed it on to me, and that's just on my dad's side. On my mom's side, okay, my grandfather was a boxing fan, but a lot of us have been boxing fans, you know, when we were in our daddy's nutsacks. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So that's that. But with that said, G-Funk, this is the style boxing. And what do we say?